To understand the 5-paragraph essay, we need to start a long time ago. The place is Harvard University, and the professors are saying, these kids, they don't know how to write. They don't know responsibility. They don't know that kind of thing. They're freaking out because young people don't care about writing. I don't know, it's like 1910, so they're saying all these kids care about is going for hay rides and drinking phosphates or whatever. So they decide we need to do something. And what they come up with is they say, we're going to have students write an essay every single day. They're going to write. And then something shocking happens. The essays start pouring in, and they're like, oh, now we have to grade this mountain of essays. We probably should have seen that coming, what with us being Harvard and all that. But they didn't. So what they come up with is we need a plan. We need a type of writing that is so simple and universal that we don't have to grade it. We can give it to our teaching assistants and they can just look at it, go pop, pop, pop. Everything's where it should be. Writing accomplished. And that's where the 5-paragraph essay is born. It's designed as a one-size-fits-all template to just get you writing. Now, there's advantages to that. One, it's clear. It gets you organizing your thoughts, and it sort of forces you to put things in an order that will, in fact, communicate a point if you put it in correctly. Two, it's a way for you to sort of think about, I need multiple reasons. It's a way to kind of encourage some critical thinking and a way to, going back to the idea of cultural codes, a way to communicate in a way that is going to be legible to someone else. They're going to understand what you're doing. So what's the problem? The problem is, while it creates a safety net of functionality, it creates a glass ceiling as well. Because the essay is never going to be better than fine, right? Because it's one size fits all. You're never thinking about, what do I need to say to prove my point? You're thinking about, how do I fill the real estate? Because no matter what you're trying to say, you're using the exact same amount of space. It's a very finish line mentality. It's a very school mentality of essentially writing becomes, what do I need to do so that you will let me stop writing? And what I need to do is I need to come up with an intro and a conclusion and 3 reasons why I'm right. Maybe one's a counterclaim for some zest and variety. The other thing that happens is it starts chipping away at your critical thinking abilities, because what you end up doing, and this happens regularly, where students are saying, I need something for my third body paragraph. I don't have anything else to say. Well, maybe you're not digging deeply enough, but it also could be that's because there's nothing else to say. Just as common, though, is students saying, which of these should I get rid of? I have 4 things I feel like I have to talk about, and I can't decide which one to get rid of. Why would you get rid of one? You've just done the actual advanced thinking of saying, there are 4 things that I need to say to convince my audience that my point is true. And now you're saying I'm going to get rid of ones in order to fit into a real estate piece? Because essentially the 5-paragraph essay is riding a bike with training wheels. And that's important. Like, it's a valid form of writing, and it's great to fall back on, especially in on-demand situations where you don't have time to think about nuance and genuine efficacy of writing. You've got to just fill in that space with your argument quickly. So it has its time and place. But ideally, you eventually take the training wheels off the bicycle. And reasonably, to continue the metaphor, when you take the training wheels off the bicycle, it's a little rough for a bit. But then you get stronger, you get better, it gets easier. And that's an important thing that I'm going to come back to again and again and again. The rules and methods and strategies of genuinely effective writing make your writing better, but they also make it easier. Because when you're thinking in terms of not shaping your idea to fit into a box, but instead shaping the size of the box basically to fit the idea, your paper can change, and you're thinking in terms of, I need this much space. I need this many points to prove my thesis. And that is actually, in the long run, easier, more interesting, more creative, and more effective than just falling back on the 5-paragraph essay, because the long-term chipping away of your critical abilities is damaging to your writing. It's very rarely yields an interesting result. It's not impossible. It happens. So that's where it comes from. And that's the strengths and weaknesses of it. And that's why it's important, even if you come back to it. to break away from it and make writing a more sincere, a more creative, and a more critical activity that enables you to think about how to communicate your point, not how to write in a way that is following a series of rules designed to make someone let you stop writing.